It's time for a Bitcoin and crypto astrology video again, because we have to tackle the question of when this crypto cycle will top and when it will peak and when it will be all over and when it's really time to sell everything and get out, because make no mistake, that time will come. So in this video, I'm going to look at the astrology. We're going to decode the astrology of the coming months, and I'm going to tell you what I think about when the cycle will peak. Let's go. Okay, so this is what we're going to do in this video. We're going to look at the astrology of the coming months, and we're going to decode that to understand what awaits us, right? Because this cycle, it's getting heated up. It's getting into the hot phase. It's getting into the time when you really need to be on top of your game so that you can make the best out of this. If you are in crypto for a long time, maybe you've been waiting for this for 4 years, maybe longer, maybe you messed up the last cycle and you've been waiting for 8 years already for this. So now's the time. You need to make the best out of this. And I'm going to tell you exactly what I see for the coming months and how I see them play out, right? So you're going to say, oh, you're going to give a prediction, but obviously I have to tell you right away, what I'm telling you in this video is not financial advice, right? I'm not giving you financial advice. Very simple, very clear. I'm sharing my predictions. True. You're going to say, okay, so you're giving predictions. How is that not financial advice? Well, look, I'm sharing these predictions because I'm showing you how astrology works, how the cosmic cycles and archetypal cycles work, right? And how you can read them and interpret them, especially if you understand also socioeconomic conditions and correlations. And you can make predictions, right? You can understand how things are going to play out, right? But when I'm doing this, I'm not doing this with intent to tell you how to invest, right? That's on you. And that's not on me, how you invest. And I'm not infallible, right? God forbid. Like, I make mistakes too, right? So don't base anything you do on saying, oh, but you said this. Oh, but you said this. Oh, now I'm so upset. And so, no, it's on you. You got to make that. You got to have all of your different information sources. What I'm giving you is not financial advice. I make mistakes sometimes. In fact, I'm going to show you, I'm going to tell you right now, because I made predictions on this channel several times, right? And how many times actually? I made predictions 8 times where there was pretty precise predictions. I got 7 out of 8 right. And I'm going to tell you which ones they were, right? Since we started this channel, but I got one wrong too. Since I started this channel, and it's all on this channel, it's all recorded, it's all public record, it's here, it's like an archive. People can check it out later if they want to fact check this or whatever. It's all on this channel. When we started this channel in 2024, I called the March 2024 local top. I called it for April, but close enough, right? I called the local top on that, Jupiter-Uranus conjunction. Then, fast forward, October 24, I called the breakout from the range down to the week. I said, like, this week we're going to break out because we had this very long range. Like, we were playing in this really long range accumulation zone, and I called the breakout from the range. November 24, I called the Trump victory and the crypto surge that ensued, right? I called the Trump victory many times before on this channel, right? Months and months before, several times. December 24, I called all-time high for crypto, for Bitcoin, amid, obviously a huge amount of bullish news for the crypto market. That was correct. February 25, there I said it was not going to be sell the news event. I said we're going to go much, much higher. I was expecting huge explosion and new all-time highs, and I was wrong. I got it wrong, right? It was a sell the news event. What happened is we did have massive bullish news, which is what I had seen in the astrology. So I said it's going to be extremely bullish. We're going to go higher, right? I ignored all the other signs that were there. If you look at it, like if you look back at it, there were other signs, right? But I emphasized what I thought was going to happen was we're going to go super bullish and it's going to explode to new all-time highs. We were super bullish. There was a huge amount of news, but the price did not go up, right? Instead, we started the big downward movement in February. But now, what happened after that? In March 25, I called the local bottom down to a day. I said March 11, March 13, 2 days, right? I called the local bottom down to 2 days, exact. In April 25, when it was a tariff, peak panic, I gave you the exact schedule for recovery with weeks. In 2 weeks this, in 4 weeks this, and it played out down to the day, down to the week, like I told you, right? With the return of bullish momentum, end of April, like beginning of May, just like I told you. In May, I called an explosive upward movement. That's exactly what happened. We had an explosive upward movement, right? And we're still in that kind of very volatile phase right now at the end, which I called out. So this is a 7 out of 8 on this channel so far. 7 out of 8. So what you can take away from this is I make mistakes, right? So don't count on what I'm telling you right now. But the one thing that I was very, very certain of throughout this whole time doing these videos on here, right? Actually, since 24 when we started, I've been saying consistently, this has been my thesis. And I showed you all of the, the background, why, and so on. My thesis has been consistently that we're going to have a crazy summer. June, July, August is going to be absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. It's going to be like the summer of innovation. The summer of crazy new ideas that are changing society and crazy new technologies and adoption, mass adoption, and people FOMOing into all kinds of stuff. And obviously that's going to coincide with a huge crypto explosion, right? So now let's look at the charts today together. I'm going to show you now a month by month, the next few months, in order to see what we can expect, right? Because we need to be prepared, right, for what's coming. So, and it's not just like, there's more detail to this. There's more detail to what we can expect. And the best way to understand it is to look at the charts, right? Okay, so let's go into the charts and let's see what we have coming up in this time, right? Let's decode it. So we're here end of May and going into June, right? Last couple of days of May and then going to June. We still have this trine here between Mars and Venus, which is pretty exact, and it's in fire signs, right? Venus is in Aries, and Mars is in Leo. That's going on for some time, so into early June. So this gives a lot of energy for acting, right? Acting out for, like, the bulls are going to have a lot of power right now, because this is basically, you want to act for gains, and you're going to have the energy and you're going to be able to push things forward. And that's a very, very smooth development, right? So going after goals, specifically financial goals, is very favored in this time, right? As we're having this constellation continue, the bulls are going to be strong. And then shortly, like going into June, like by June 6th, Venus moves into Taurus. Venus is obviously super strong here, and that's where Uranus sits. Uranus is the planet that's today to do with crypto and Bitcoin and technology, right? And Venus, we already saw this several times in this bull market, even just like last month, just in May, when Sun went towards Uranus. That's when we had the big move upward, right? Exactly as I've been always saying on this channel, as I've been saying for a long time, it's about Uranus, right? That governs crypto and Bitcoin, technology, high tech, and so on, right? So now, what do we got here? Venus is going here. Venus is very strong, obviously. Venus rules Taurus, right? So we're going to be going into a time of gains, of great gains in June, right? And at the same time, Mercury is coming together with Jupiter. Mercury with Jupiter. This stands for big business ideas, right? Big ideas and big commercial deals and big trade deals. All of this is going to have a big trade deals, big commercial. You're going to have lots of big announcements that time, right? Around that time, second week of June. Big business announcements, big investment announcements, big kind of gains being made and big trade deals being announced and pushed through. And all of that is going to be obviously fodder for the market, right? So that's June, which looks really positive. And then what it continues, in June continues, this just goes on. Basically, the sun goes in with Jupiter as well as Venus keeps moving towards Uranus in the same, in the month. And by the end of the month, they're both together. They're getting together. So this is like the finale of this is like an incredibly bullish month. Throughout this month, we have nothing that would tell you, that would kind of bring you any negative signs, apart from one thing actually, which is in the beginning of the month already, the square here between Jupiter and Saturn is exact, right? There's a square between Jupiter and Saturn. I mentioned this in the beginning of the year, and I said this year this is happening. There's going to be some big transformations in the economy, right? Does that mean there's going to be an economic crash, right? No, not necessarily exactly at that time. When you have this Jupiter-Saturn square, it means big decisions are made and the economy is transformed, right? Big decisions are made, big moves, big changes are made to the economy in this year, right? And the big decisions will be announced. Announcements around BRICS, around China-US trade relations, right? Europe-US trade, all of these things, big changes in the economy will be announced in June. This is what it is, Jupiter-Saturn square, right? That's what we got, square. That's when the decisions are made, decision time. So this is going to be a time where is that going to be necessarily bad for crypto? No, not at all. For the markets, no, not at all. It's not that easy. You don't have like a one-to-one correlation. Every time you have Jupiter, Saturn, hard aspects, you have market crashes. Not at all, right? So what it means, though, is that the economy will change a lot. It does. And the big crash is not off the table at all, right? I'm actually seeing long-term, after this bull run, I'm seeing a long-term downturn of the economy, several year downturn of the economy, right? Which is absolutely normal. We're shifting into a completely new phase. A lot of the secular cycles are coming to an end. But that doesn't mean that right now, this summer, this is going to have a negative effect. June looks extremely bullish, right? Just like beautifully bullish. And then it just goes on. It just goes on into summer, because then in summer, we have, when I say summer, I mean in July, right? In July, it goes on, because in July, as we're going into July, we have this huge event happening for the crypto astrology, which is that Uranus goes on the first degree of Gemini, where we have the star Alcyon, right? Which is a star that is to do with great prominence. It's a very, very benefic, extremely benefic star, which puts everything into great prominence. Just like Uranus was before on Algol, which is a malefic star, right? And we had a lot of manipulation and issues around crypto. Now, crypto is going to be in this hugely elevated space, hugely elevated, right? In July. And then at the same time, you have this talent triangle that I always talked about. This will be active. This is huge. This is an absolutely huge constellation. This triangle between all of these planets. Neptune is here. Pluto is here. Uranus is here. And this is when we have the peak of the summer of innovation. Like all of the massive innovations are going to be pulling and pushing through and just exploding onto the scene. And everybody will be just getting their consciousness upgraded with all of the new technology that's going to come out, all of the new ideas, and it will be insane. It will be insane to be in that phase. You're going to see like the craziest announcements by companies launching AI tools that you would have never imagined, that you would have imagined 5 or 10 years from now, and they will be launched this summer. And, with consciousness, Neuralink kind of type innovations are going to be launched, and virtual reality innovation, all kinds of technology innovations that are going to be really crazy and next level. And at the same time, new ideas are going to launch, new cultural trends that will all be very influential in this summer, right? And at the same time, crypto is going to be on a complete tear, right? Crypto is going to be like going insane. And this is when, obviously you're going to start to get all of the crazy signs that come when you have tops, right? When you have like these crazy peaks. You're going to get all the crazy stuff, crazy meme coins, right? Celebrities coming out and pushing weird meme coins, celebrities that have nothing to do with crypto, pushing this stuff, right? Everybody calling you, people that never talk about crypto calling you and asking like, hey, what about so-and-so coin, this is great, right? This is the best way to get rich. This is our ticket, right? Let's go. I found a coin that nobody else knows, right? And this is your neighbor who has nothing to do with crypto, right? That's when you're going to know that it's starting to, that will be overheated territory. You're going to see this happen. And what will happen is people will always ignore it. Again, people will ignore it because we're wired to ignore it. Unless you pre-program yourself to not ignore it, you will ignore it because you will think that, all of these narratives are running. It's crazy. All of these new narratives are running. All these coins are going 30x, right? So that time, you want to be really, really careful. And this is going to be in what? In July, August. And then going into August, we have the Jupiter-Venus conjunction here. You see this Jupiter-Venus conjunction? So this is huge, obviously, right? Jupiter-Venus, the greater and the lesser benefic. When they're together, they signal great wealth, right? Great wealth is what happens when they're together, right? So this is obviously really huge. And this is really going to be the peak of this. This is the peak of this whole move that I'm telling you. So now, I haven't told you yet when exactly we're going to peak, right? What I think. I will tell you, just stay here because you're going to get at the end of the video, I will tell you exactly what I think how it's going to play out, right? Make sure to watch this till the end, right? Now, actually, before I get there, let me remind you of something. You should be getting, if you haven't done so yet, you should be getting your Ascension report, which is a absolutely revolutionary, insights laden and packed report that combines astrology and numerology to completely decode you in a way that you haven't seen anywhere yet. And we just launched this last month, and it's still available for the YouTube fam, for the YouTube subscribers, for the YouTube viewers here, which I know is a small group, but it's dedicated. So I'm giving you this at a huge discount. And you can get it at the discount if you apply the coupon code. It's going to be written, I think it's YouTube 50. It's going to be written. You can go on the site ultrasapien.network and you can apply it and you can get it for this discount. And I strongly recommend you to do that. People who have done it so far, they really see how this is next level and different to everything and anything. And that has been out on the market like this. And it's just a beginning because Ultrasapien, we're going to be launching a whole series of tools and resources for techno-spiritual ascension and upgrading and human upgrading. This is just the beginning. There's a whole lot of things coming, right? But start with the Ascension report. It's your entry key into the system, right? So now let's continue. As I was saying, August, we have this absolutely insane, beautiful kind of top constellation where we have the Jupiter-Venus conjunction on top of that already kind of strong, this talent triangle, right? We still have this super crazy innovation talent triangle that I told you about, and then we have that as well. There's a couple of hard aspects here coming into with, some difficult aspects, like Mars is starting to oppose here, so it's going to be some confrontations and so on, but even that is like super beautifully caught into these, all of these harmonious aspects. It's insane. The astrology of the summer here, mid-August, is so beautiful, right? It's so beautiful. It's like a dream of geometry and harmonics of mathematics, written in the stars. And that's happening here in summer. And then in August, right? And then we go on, and as we're continuing, we're going to get something happens in September. As we're going into September, is that Uranus starts to go retrograde. You see this here. Uranus goes retrograde. And actually, at this time, we should notice that all of these planets in the talent triangle here, they're all going retrograde. They're all retrograde by this point, right? They actually all go one by one. So they start with Pluto is already retrograde. Pluto is retrograde already. And then, in June, I think in July, Neptune starts to go retrograde too. And then at the end of this whole sequence in September, Uranus also goes retrograde. One by one, those three, those planets that are making up that powerful innovation talent triangle, they all start to go retrograde, right? What does it mean? It means that everything to do with this insane upgrading of innovation and technology and crypto, right, which is going to happen this summer, is going to start to turn problematic. It's going to start to turn backward. It's going to start to turn, people are going to start to see the faults with it, the problems with it. It's going to start to turn on itself. It's going to start to dial back. Those are all things that happen when things go retrograde, right? So, and one by one, it's going to happen. So how I'm reading this is this. This is how I'm reading this. So this summer, I'm seeing it happen this way, that going into in June, we will start the absolute wave of euphoria, right? Going into all of the new, altcoin narratives exploding, new technology, new innovation narratives exploding, all of this, right? In July, that's going to continue. Then come August, then you have the first retrogrades, right? Coming into August, there are going to be a lot of top signals. We're going to have a lot of crazy meme coins that are completely out of place. We're going to see people getting sued, on meme coins like rug pulls. we're going to start seeing like, you know, the problem, the issues that exist with this, like regulations, right? Lots of new regulations first, lots of new states embracing crypto first, entering into the strategic reserve race. But then we're going to have some problems. Some states starting to crack down. Some state, because, you know, we have also Saturn involved in Aries. Saturn is there as well in that constellation. States starting to crack down, right? Fighting for supremacy in this space. And towards the end of by September, this is going to be like the whole movement is going to start to feel like done somehow. It's going to feel like it's kind of done. It's overdone. It's done. It's problematic now. It's starting to feel difficult, right? And that's going to be, in my perspective, how I see this play out, right? That's going to be when you want to be out already of the market, right? Again, this is not financial advice. This is how I'm seeing things. I'm sharing with you. It's how I'm playing things. And I'm predicting things based on the astrology, right? And you can take that as a data point in your own system. That's how you should look at it. Take it as a data point amongst many others that you have, right? And work with it and think what you want to do with it, right? So, but that's where I'm thinking that you should be out by that time. Because, yeah, it's possible that there could be another peak afterward. It's possible there could be another push afterward, right? Normally, the 4-year cycle theory is that we have in October the peaks, right? But anything that happens late in summer is going to be really problematic. With the astrology, it's going to start to look problematic. Everything starts to turn retrograde. You're going to start to get more hard aspects. And then you're also going to start to get some hard aspects on Uranus, right? I didn't show you this. You're going to start to get like this. Where is it? You're going to start to get some squares into Uranus, right? End of August, right? So everything starts to turn retrograde. You're going to start to get hard aspects on Uranus, which rules technology, crypto, and innovation. And all of this together, it just paints a picture for me that towards the end of August, beginning of September, things are going to start to turn difficult, right? And obviously, by that time, all of the big players, they will have already sold, right? And all the retail folks that will be in there will be the exit liquidity of the big players, right? The whales who are already out long time, right? By that time. So that's how I see this play out. Let me know in the comments what you think about this. If you're on, if you think my analysis is on point or if it's wrong. They haven't mentioned anything yet about which narratives are going to do well. Crazy narratives are going to obviously explode in this summer. I might do some specific videos on some specific narratives that I have astrologically analyzed as well, right? That are just waiting to explode this summer, that are going to be aligned with the qualities of the time. Let me know in the comments how you feel about this, what you're thinking, how you're going to be playing and maneuvering this market. And don't forget to get your Ascension report if you haven't done so yet. The link is below. And be well. Be blessed and play the market smart. Take care of yourself. All the best. Be blessed.